Welcome, you have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review will be the movie Songbird. This is a Michael Bay film um, starring KJ Appa, Sophia Carson, Alexandra Daddario, Demi Moore, Craig Robinson, and Bradley Whitford. Those are like the main characters. Of course, there's other characters in there, but those are like the main characters pretty much in the movie. And based upon really Sophia Carson, she plays as Sarah Garcia, and KJ Apple plays as Nico Price. The setting of the movie is basically what we're experiencing right now with the COVID. So in this movie, they have the COVID-23, same situation we all been going through, but this is further out, and it's an interesting take on how things can get to this level. We're not there now, but it can get there, and it's just an interesting take. So in this movie, it's already far beyond where we're at now. So in this movie, the virus has already spread, basically took over the world, and you have some people who are immune to the virus, and the people that are immune to the virus, and the setting is California, you have them doing different jobs. Now, the waste company has taken over. They're like the, I don't want to say exterminators, but they go out with people in the hazmat suit and the people like looking like the military SWAT, where they go out and get the people who are infected. Now, every morning, everybody has to log on to their phone, and the phone takes their vitals and check and see if they have a temperature or they're sick. And then they have to do that every morning. If they don't do that, they don't check in the people coming to get you. Now, I have, since during this time, I've been to the doctor's office where I had to be checked before seeing a doctor, and they had this scan thing that scanned my face. Now, of course, face recognition, there's no way you get away from that this day and time, especially all you people with iPhones. So anytime you put your FaceTime, or you put your finger to unlock your phone, that's your fingerprint. Just know that. So that's basics 101. So examining off of my face recognition, saying that I'm cool with my temperature and everything like that. So when I'm seeing stuff like that, when I'm seeing this movie, I can see where this is happening. So the scan on the smartphones is scanning the people, and it lets them know if they're good. It can detect if they're sick or not. If they're sick, the patrol people are alerted and they come and get you. Now, Nico, he's like a runner for this company who does distribution throughout the area. He's like a runner on a bike, and he's taking different packages to different people who are not necessarily immune, but they're not sick either. And so the devices in these people have, where he gives them the mail, it goes into like a quarantine, like refresh little area, and then they retrieve it, and then they put stuff back into it. It quarantines, refresh it, or I guess not refresh it, disinfect it rather, and then he takes it out. And so he rolls to one of his people that he drops frequent mail off to is Piper Griffin and her husband William Griffin, and they have a daughter who is ill, and I guess she's more she doesn't have the virus, but she's more weaker than other people, where she can catch the virus, like she has an underlying issue or whatever. So you have William Griffin, who is sleeping on the side with May. Now, he told May, who's played by Alexandra Daddario, he told her, she came out, he seen her videos on YouTube, she could sing, told her she moved out to Cali, that he would promise her big things and a career and everything. So she did that, and then this happened. And now she's online, and she's just covering you know, you don't have a radio no more, so she's pretty much off in a hotel room somewhere and taking people that might donate to her, or people tell her to sing something and she'll sing something for them or whatever. So that's a form of entertainment that people have resorted to. So you have Michael Dozer, who's her like anonymous donator or whatever, and he's a retired war vet, and he got injured in a war. Now he's in a wheelchair. Now Craig Robinson is Lester. He runs this carrier company. Now that's who Nico works for. So he's sending, and he has GPS on all his employees, and so he can see on his map everywhere they go. Now he's connected with Michael Dozer, who has a drone, a real high-tech drone that he can, when Lester needs to find something, he calls him, he sends that drone out, and he circles around. He can find people or whatever. So you pitting the pieces together. You find out that William and Piper Griffin, they're running an underground thing where they're charging people $150,000. So in this world, if you get a bracelet that says you're immune, that means you can move around and you can navigate or whatever, and the military won't mess with you. And so, but their costs, if you don't get one automatically because you're immune, you have to get one illegal, and they're charging people like $150,000 and stuff like that for it. So, but they're doing it underground. So what happens is Nico has a girlfriend named Sarah, who pretty much he's talking to through the phone, and she's in there with her grandma, Lita, and pretty much, you know, he's telling her, we're going to get out of here one day. I'm going to save the money. We're going to get out of here. All of us together. We're going to roll. And so what eventually happens is one day Lita gets sick. And while she's getting sick, you could tell she's coming down with the virus. The only thing is Sarah's in the house too, but Sarah's not getting it. Now, the people come and gather this woman or whatever. And so Sarah's looking through the peephole and see that. And so the main head guy named Emmett, he's pretty much like, hey, he knocks on her door. It's like, hey, was anybody in your house connected with this woman? Did y'all have tea with her? Because she just is infected, so y'all could be infected too. And Sarah pretty much like, no. And he's pretty much telling her, well, you know how many times I didn't heard that? And I end up right back out here. And so he ended up leaving. But she could see that Lita's sick. And so she's telling Nico, like, yo, she's sick, man. Like, and so Nico, like, I know some people around here that might got that bracelet. I'm going to find it for y'all. And so he's on a hunt. He calls Lester. Lester, I know you know the ins and outs. Tell me who's got the bracelet. So Lester tells him, but he's pretty much telling him, like, yo, nobody ain't supposed to know. So he shows up to Piper and William Griffin's house. And it does have a scene where William Griffin goes out and he sees May, and he, you know, that's his side affair or whatever. And so the Griffins pretty much shoot Nico down and pretty much tell him, like, we don't know what you're talking about. And then the wife, played by Demi Moore, Piper, she gets back on the intercom and tells him, hey, listen, I know somebody that might can help you. We don't do it, but we know somebody can help. She's really setting him up with Emmett. And so when he arrives there, he's talking to Emmett, and Emmett pretty much carries a knife and shanks him with the knife. And then this war vet comes out of nowhere and helps him, saves him. Then he asks him why he saves him. He's like, it's time to take a stand. So the war vet allows him to escape while he goes up and divert. So he gets back on the bike. Now at this time, Nico is going back to the house to dress his wound, and he's telling Sarah he didn't get the passes, but not to give up. So she tells him by this time Lita has passed away. And he tell her, you gotta hide. You can't let them take you. You gotta hide. So at this moment, he jumping into action like, bump that. I'm going to the Griffin's house, and I'm gonna force my way in. I'm gonna get those immunity bracelets. And so at this time, Piper, she knows her husband William is having an affair, and pretty much she's fed up with cleaning up his mess, and she basically, you need to go with that girl you messing with and stuff like that. And she pulls a gun out on him, basically like, I gotta protect my daughter, our daughter, but she's really saying my daughter, because you really don't care. And then she forces him to get out and tell him he need to go handle his mess. So he's on his way to May or whatever. So Piper calls May up and pretty much tells her like, yo, I know what you're doing with my husband pretty much, but he's on his way to you. If I was you, I'd get gone. So May was already telling William like, you know, mess with your, you know, you need to get with your wife. You had me come out here for nothing. And so during this time, May has been talking with Michael, who has the drone, and telling him, you know, they're communicating with each other, and they befriended each other and talking to each other on the phone. And he's basically telling her like, I can help you. So once the wife Piper tells May that information, she's on her way to try to get going. And so May was pretty much like, I'm gonna handle it. And then she was like, it's okay for me to come to you? And he was like, yeah. So on her way to leave, you could see that William's on his way to her. Meanwhile, Nico sneaks into the compound of the Griffin's location and pretty much enters the house. Now, Lester calls the Griffins basically like, hey, I know y'all told me keep track of my employees, and it seems like he's in your house. And so Piper pretty much tell the daughter to go hide. She grabs the gun. She shows up with Nico. Nico basically explained to her, look, y'all, you sent me on a wild goose chase to get killed. And listen, I need to save my girl or whatever. I need you to give me a bracelet. So Piper, you know, she kind of pretty much is like, let's let bygones be bygones, and I'm going to help you save your girl. So he gave her his girl's information. She ran the database and created the bracelet. Now, he has to get to where Sarah is. Now, Sarah and her, on her end, she knocked out one of the, they came and stormed her apartment. She knocked out one of the hazmat people, took his gear. She made it carry Lita out, and they think, you know, they're looking for her still in the building, but they find out that she's in a hazmat suit. So she's running on the street, and they eventually catch her, take her, and they put her in, taking her to what they call Zone Q. And so, meanwhile, Nico shows up to the apartment. He has the bracelet. He sees Emmett there, and Emmett is pretty much the leader of this little platoon, and he wants to kill Nico, even though he knows now that Sarah is immune, because he pretty much seen you was around that lady and you didn't get affected, and there's no sign. So the protocol is to let her go, but he didn't. He still wanted to keep her or whatever. So Emmett and Nico gets to tussling, and Nico stabs him with a pin, kills him. So he's gone. Now Nico's on his way to find Sarah. So at this time, you got May trying to leave in her car, and William shows up, and he's breaking her car window. Michael with the drone has found where May is, shot. He shot William in the head with the drone, because you gotta think he's ex-war. So you find out that drone could do more than just find people. So kills him, and that's the end of William. And now Lester needs Michael to help find where they're taking Sarah to. So they track down the van, and it gets to the Zone Q, and Nico shows up right on time. They pull the guns out on him. He hurry up and hugs her, and he snaps the bracelet on her wrist and told her, you know, trust me, I got you. And she's got to trust you. And he put the bracelet on her wrist, and she was telling like she's immune, run her bracelet. And he ran the bracelet, and it came out good, and they let her go. And then so it ended up Nico and Sarah end up leaving. It shows Lester getting back on his business, and everybody pretty much getting on with their life. Now you had the Griffins had a maid named Maria, and I guess because of the situation, she only lived there with them. She didn't live with her family, and so she couldn't go home every day because she could contract the virus and bring it back. So when this happened at the end of the movie, it shows them releasing Maria and letting her go back home with her family. And everybody pretty much is moving on from here. Now, overall, that's the bulk of the movie. There's some little parts that I left out, but overall, it was a decent movie to watch. Just off of where we could be potentially going. Now, we hope it don't go there, but if you're paying attention to everything that's going, it's going to be, to get in events, you're going to have to be scanned. It's going to be checking to see if you had the vaccine or if you've been tested. It's going to be all types of stuff that's going on. And you see it more and more going, and how they're going to use technology to proceed from here. So it's worth a watch. Just, you know, check into. And for that, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 4 stars. Just an interesting film to watch. 2 out of 4 stars. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if you've seen it. Till next time.